Hi guys, this is Josh. Basically, wanted to walk through who was the most very important person in my life, and I would have to say, in describing that person, there's kind of a trail to get to that person, and so words would fail to talk about my mom and how influential she was for me, and how she constantly taught me about Jesus and the importance of Jesus. And then my first boss and pastor, Brian Cielo, and how he took Jesus and kind of expanded him from just kind of this simple truth that I need to accept, but ultimately to this very important person who just had a lot of complexity and depth to him. And another important person in my life was Abraham, who I was able to engage with constant conversation about Jesus and about life and about how we were understanding life and through Christ. Um, but all these lead to one reality, really, and it's that Jesus was the most important person in my life. Um, he was the VIP, if you will. I went to a small Catholic private school, and in going there, one of the things that I um, constantly got to see was these beautiful stained glass windows, and every Friday we would go and we would listen to a priest speak, and behind him would be this beautiful, huge um, Jesus image and statue of him hanging on the cross. And I just remember going home every day thinking, man, that guy must be important. And what he did must be important because he's just everywhere. He's all around my school. He's what my mom's talking about. He must be important. It still took me a while to kind of to get to that place where I understood just how important he was. But it really hit my freshman year of college. I started reading through the gospel, and I started in Matthew, of course, and it was just the most incredible story I had ever read. The figure of Jesus just seemed to pop out of the scriptures and emerge, and I noticed this person who was full of authority. Sorry about that. He was full of authority, a very powerful individual. He can tell demons what to do. He can steal storms. He could rise people from the dead. He could heal sickness. I mean, he had all authority, but he was also so gentle and so kind, and he would touch sick people, and he would allow prostitutes to touch him, and he would um, he was like the king who you could go into his throne room, and even though you should expect nothing but wrath, you would get a gentle touch and a kiss on the cheek. And so from this Jesus character, I really learned two things, and this is why he was so important to me. Um, and one of the things, even before the two things that I learned, is that he's alive. So, so he is a very important person to me now. He rose from the dead. That was one of the biggest parts of the story, was knowing that this Jesus had actually risen from the dead, and I could know him, and could be known by him, and he gave me relationship and vocation. It began with a relationship. I ultimately began to see this Jesus as, like I said, someone who could be known and understood, and he could understand me and love me and speak to me through his scriptures, and I could pray to him. This Jesus person was someone who I could be known by. But also, this Jesus person was someone who put me on mission. In my early college years, I was trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to do, just like everyone else in college. Trying to figure out how should I walk out the particular vocation that I would have as an adult. What do I do? And this Jesus put me on mission. He said, "Go and make disciples of the nations. Teach the nations the things that I have taught you." So I said, well, the things that I've learned through the Gospels, and more as I studied the Bible, the things that I've seen in the Scriptures, I need to teach people. And everyone has their different way of teaching, but I actually have a gift of just speaking orally in front of people, and being able to teach God's Word. And so after I learned this, I was known by this guy and then put on mission by this guy, and it was a beautiful mission, and I felt valuable to society and valuable to His kingdom, and so Jesus is indeed the most important person in my life. He's the VIP of my life. Um, every important person I've had in my life um, is because they've taken Jesus seriously and spoken to me seriously about Jesus, and so that makes him very important. And so I decided, well, if they take Jesus seriously, and so will I. And so dove into a relationship with him, and I thank him every day for his grace. And thank you guys for listening, and I hope that your important person is heavily influenced by this Jesus.